So humans are meaning-making animals, and we make meaning through the stories that we tell, the stories we tell others, the stories that we tell ourselves. Like the first person who needed a narrative, who needed a story was me, myself, diving deeper into why this work is important and what it can lead to and what is powerful about it. And then others around us, which would mean governments, donors, partners, any kind of people who we felt could be allies in our work, needed to hear stories that would enable them to understand how important and critical this work is and how they can be a part of it. Storywalas was present on day one of Slam Out Loud, which is we called Amin to do a storytelling session on the very first workshop that happened for children. And through the years, as Storywalas have been with us, they've been able to shape our narrative in ways that not only make sense to us, but to everyone around us. The story of being able to express is a story that every child, every human being resonates with. Everybody needs a safe space to be able to talk about what they want to talk about. And Storywalas allowed us to go from a place of telling our children's stories to showing our children's stories. And that's when we started bringing in our children's work a lot into our storytelling. So, for example, there's one really, really amazing, beautiful child. Her name is Supriya. She's written a poem which is about the education system that she experiences. And she talks about the walls of this red high building called school are so high that only the walls can see the world outside. And when we started using that line in telling people what a child who is finding their voice looks like, I think there was a completely different kind of connection that happened right then. So it's one thing to be able to tell a child's story and say that a child is expressive, that the child is finding their voice, and it's quite another thing to actually show that these are the lines from a poem that a child has written, a child who's been through our program for the last many years. And that makes so much of a difference, that creates like an entirely new and faster synapse in somebody else's brain, where they can totally feel what this really means.